The courtroom smelled of varnished wood and bitter coffee. The final hearing was supposed to bring closure, but instead, it felt like walking into a lion's den. My wife, Clara, sat across from me with her perfectly polished nails and cold, triumphant eyes. She hadn't looked at me as a husband for years, but today, she looked at me like prey. Her lawyer leaned forward, his smug smile almost mocking. After rattling off a list of settlements, he closed his folder and laughed. "Enjoy your new life, you'll need to." The words lingered in the air like a curse. At first, I brushed it off as arrogance. Lawyers thrived on intimidation. But the look in Clara's eyes was different. It wasn't just victory. It was satisfaction, like she was hiding something much bigger. The divorce was only the beginning. 2 years ago, Clara and I were the kind of couple neighbors envied. Big house, successful jobs, a son who adored both of us. But money and power have a way of changing people. When I discovered Clara was hiding transactions, large sums funneling into accounts I didn't recognize, I asked questions. She answered with silence, then anger. Then suddenly an affair with a business partner I had never met before. The divorce was messy, of course. She wanted the house, the custody, the reputation. I just wanted peace. But every hearing twisted deeper. Suddenly, documents I had never seen before appeared. Signatures that looked like mine, agreements I'd supposedly signed. Fraudulent. I swore they weren't mine. Nobody listened. And now, with the lawyer's parting words, I felt it. Something wasn't right. The first clue. After the gavel fell, I walked out into the cool September air. My best friend, Mark, was waiting by his car. "How'd it go?" he asked. I tried to smile, but the words of that lawyer repeated in my head. "Enjoy your new life, you'll need to." That night, I found the first clue. In the box of legal papers returned to me by the court, there was a manila envelope. No return address. Inside was a single sheet of paper with a bank statement. The account wasn't mine, but my name was on it. The balance, $2.3 million. My chest tightened. I didn't own that account. Yet someone had carefully set it up in my name. And whoever it was wanted me to know. A trail of shadows. I spent nights digging. Bank records. Property deeds. Every time I thought I'd reached a dead end, another envelope arrived. Always unmarked. Always precise. The shocking part? Everything pointed back to Clara. Properties under shell companies. Offshore accounts. Even payments to officials. My wife, no, my ex-wife, wasn't just divorcing me. She was laundering money, building an empire in the shadows, and painting me as the fall guy. Suddenly, her lawyer's words made sense. "Enjoy your new life." He wasn't mocking. He was warning. Clara had tied every string back to me. If the authorities looked deeper, I wouldn't be walking free. I'd be rotting in prison. The betrayal runs deeper. Mark noticed my paranoia growing. He came over one evening, bringing food like old times. "You need to take this to the police," he urged after I showed him the documents. "I can't," I said. "If I walk in with this, it looks like I'm the mastermind. She's too smart. She's been planning this for years." That's when Mark looked at me differently. "Then you need to outsmart her." But the trap was already closing. The next morning, federal agents knocked on my door. They had a warrant. They seized my laptop, phone, even old business records. Clara had moved faster than I thought. And the smug look on the lead agent's face told me. They thought they had their man. A desperate gamble. With my world collapsing, I decided to gamble everything. I went back to the courthouse records, pretending to review my case. But really, I was following the paper trail of my ex-wife's lawyer. If anyone knew her true game, it was him. And then I found it. Buried in the archives was a corporate registration. The owner's name was blurred by legal jargon, but the signature at the bottom was clear. Not Clara's. Not mine. Mark's. My best friend. The one person who had been by my side. The one person who told me to fight. Mark had signed off on the very company Clara used to funnel her money. The final twist. Rage doesn't even begin to cover what I felt. I confronted him that night. He didn't deny it. He didn't even flinch. "She promised me half if I helped her take you down," he said coldly. "You were always the golden boy, The perfect husband, the successful one. Why shouldn't I finally get something? Clara hadn't just betrayed me. She had recruited my best friend to bury me alive. But what they didn't know was that I had been recording everything. From the moment I walked in, my phone had been rolling. His confession. His tone. His arrogance. I turned the file over to the authorities, not as a victim, but as a whistleblower. The narrative shifted. Investigators dug deeper, uncovering Clara's empire, Mark's partnership, and the fraud they tried to pin on me. The courtroom again. Months later, I found myself in the same courtroom, but the roles had reversed. Clara sat where I had once sat, cornered, furious, exposed. Mark avoided my eyes, his face pale as the charges were read aloud. The same lawyer who once laughed at me now fumbled with his notes, sweat dripping down his temple. When the gavel fell this time, it was Clara who lost everything. But even as she was led away, she whispered across the aisle, her eyes burning into mine. "This isn't over." And deep down, I knew she meant it. Epilogue. Life after was quieter but never the same. Freedom came at the cost of trust. Every shadow felt heavier. Every phone call, every letter, I wondered if it was her, or someone she had left behind. The words of her lawyer echoed, hauntingly prophetic. "Enjoy your new life, you'll need to." And he was right. Because the kind of betrayal Clara spun doesn't end with handcuffs. It waits. It lingers. It breathes in the dark. And one day, I know it will come knocking again.